Oops, let me zoom that out. All right. So, welcome back to Transformative Tarot, brought to you by my man Scorponok in the building. Still a Scorpio season, still deep in the underworld. So while we're there, the Joker came up. So the Joker card is out of the Destiny card system. And here's the original right here. And I'll even share, I think I still have the original sketches I did. Yeah, this is the original black and white. One of them. I think there was a couple of versions I did of this particular card. Yeah, there's a couple of versions I did. Now, the thing to note about this, first and foremost, is that art is meant to chronicle the times, the eras that we live in. And during this time when I did this, I'll never forget this. I was up in Georgia Tech in Atlanta. I was in the bookstore, and I just got done talking to Samaya because she was the one who kind of nudged me out the door on these. And at the time, Obama was in office. And at the same time, this is when he was in them talks with China. So when I finished the picture and brought it back to Samaya, who was my, she was my instructor, teacher, my guru at the time on the Destiny cards, put me onto the lot. I showed her this. And she was trying to really get me to realize that Ace of Spades power that she channeled in me. You know what I'm saying? Because there was things that I didn't hear that I didn't even I wasn't cognitive of it. I was just in the flow. You understand what I'm saying? Because she said this looks just like Obama. And if you look a little bit closer, yeah, it does kind of got that face. And like I said, the Pekingese is from China, and it was kind of like that goofy look. So this is one aspect of the card and chronicling those times. This had to be around 2013. So that would be like a marker as an artist for the future. And I've come to those kind of terms that the stuff that I'm doing, a lot of what I'm doing is not for this time, it's for the times ahead. So let's get into the meaning of the Joker card. The Joker card is a special card, all right? 360 days, 365 days, every day of the year is assigned a card. And in many of the cases, especially with the numerical cards, they're very abundant throughout the year. So you'll get a couple of 10 of diamonds walking around. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a whole lot of three of clubs. You'll get a whole lot of seven of diamonds people, but you're not going to run into too many of the. It gets a little more scarce as you go up the pole. So by the time you get to the kings and queens, you get to the aces, and then you get to the Joker. The Joker card energy is the 31st of December. This is the only day in which this energy shows up. The thing about the Joker on this day is because of that transition from one year to the other. So you can say that this is where people make their resolutions. This is a drunkard anyway. You know what I mean? So this is the party on New Year's. Who do you want to be going forward? Kind of energy. The Joker very much has the full energy in it. Again, with the dog, which I didn't notice till now. It's the same as the tarot, which shows the fool, but it's just called the Joker. They're one in the same energy. It's a new dawn day. It's a leap. You know what I mean? But it's playing the fool. But it talks about first and foremost things that are not what we think is not possible. First thing Samaya pointed out was the fact that he's playing not only a broken guitar, but a broken guitar, but he has no thumbs. How the hell is he playing this without the thumbs? So that alone, and what I've come to find out, that was ancient science or some shit of displaying hands without the thumbs. You'll find that in the Mayan calendar as well with the blue hand about the importance of the opposable thumbs. All right, so Joker has no identity of their own, so to speak, but they can take on the personality of every other card in the deck, every other personality. They can take on that attribute. Now, how does that play into things? In the old court, these are the magicians, the minstrels. Again, the menstrual cycle of the woman, the release of things, right? They were meant to liven up the crowd and release things. The hidden sciences that the kings and queens would use this time to let somebody openly and honestly critique them without losing their head so that they can make changes in order to better manage their kingdom. What do I mean by that? The Joker can imitate anybody, he clowns everybody, and he makes light of situations that are very stark and harsh in reality, right? So this leads me to the next part of the Joker, which is co-mediumship. Co-mediumship, or in other words, comedians. This is the comedians of our time, the Richard Pryors, the Red Foxes, the Patrice O'Neills, all of these brilliant and fearless performers who put their lives in plain view and made light of everything that they felt in their lives, you know what I'm saying, from their childhood. And this is the way that a lot of them healed themselves. You know what I mean? Was through the conveyance, through comedy, to relieve these situations. You know what I mean? And if you want another example, the Joker in The Dark Knight was a perfect example of why so serious. So this is a chaotic kind of energy, as you can see with all the cards, and there's no telling what two cards he has. Those could be cards that you pull. So one note to anybody who pulls this would be: assume the posture of the character in this card. Even if you have a dog, even if you have a guitar, put your cards up there and take on that energy and see what cards pop up for you. You understand what I'm saying? You can really play with this archetype and even throwing cards and seeing which ones flip over. Now, the ones that are noted on this card is the Ace of Hearts. What is that? We'll look down here because it's closer. Yeah. Ten of Spades, Three of Cups. I mean, Three of Spades or clubs, excuse me. Um, some other ones, Two of Clubs, but Nine of Hearts in his shoes. But these could be also very significant to any kind of reading or pull, just the numbers alone, or maybe looking up those cards. But this is the energy of that time, and that time is, let's see, this was done in 2011. I did this in 2011. So this is over 10 years old. So it's that time to resonate with that energy of being carefree and lighthearted again about things, looking at life in not such a jaded way. You know what I mean? Being carefree but not careless at the same time. The thing that you have to remember is that because he has no personality of his own, you know what I'm saying? You have to be careful with assuming this role. This is kind of like the Heath Ledger curse, if you will. Um, it's a good energy because this is a it takes you out of the ego. It takes you out of the seriousness of things and allows you a blank slate or a fresh new start in which you're allowed to make mistakes again without the feelings of guilt. You understand what I'm saying? This is like when you're the first day in yoga class and you're losing your balance everywhere, but you're happy because you're learning. You know what I'm saying? And you have that lighthearted spirit that I'm going to master a certain thing that I set out to do. A goal, carry out an idea. You know what I mean? So this is the basic archetypal energy of the Joker. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to leave your comments if you like to purchase a deck. Uh, get at me on Instagram at phoenix.nebula.9. I still have a couple of decks left. They're over here charging. Pulled out my statues of Reiki. Reiki is in the deck, and I got to go back in on him because I did have holes in the back so he could have feathers that actually stick out of the clay. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I had to pull Tantra back out. I need to work on her a little bit more as well. But hope you enjoyed today's breakdown of the Joker, and do your own due diligence with this card. This deck is meant to help you research different things on your own time to gain better understanding of self. So there's plenty more information that may fill in holes for you, or give you a better understanding. So until then, take care. I'll see y'all. Peace.